Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the LMS Summer Split Game 2 here between Fireball and the YE Spider. Side of the Spiders taking Game 1 with some very impressive double marksman split push play coming out of them. Just absolutely toying with Fireball, pushing and pulling them around the map until all the objectives fell down. They did have a bit of a hiccup there around the mid-game, ended up giving away a Baron, and lost the team fight pretty hard, but other than that, they played pretty well. Breeze on that Tristana, despite one little misplay, was able to put out quite an impressive performance, as well as Wako on that Corki. They were laying down some serious damage. I would have loved to see the damage charts from that game. I would have a feeling that those were pretty high. And we're going to see what these teams decide to switch it up with in Game 2. So far, Fireball bans out the Xayah, Zac, and Talia. So still banning out that Zac on the blue side. Interesting thought process there. Maybe Woolala is not comfortable playing that one. They are not really targeting the previous pick phase from the Spiders as much as I might have thought they would, but perhaps they have an idea how to pick apart the composition. Maybe Spiders is going to run something completely different. And there is the first adaptation. They take away the Thresh from K. He was able to start up a lot of those fights nicely. So that's going to be the first adaptation we see. The red side ban coming out of the Spiders, they actually do ban the Caitlyn. They take away the Galio and the Rek'Sai as well, so looking to take that comfort pick Rek'Sai away from Mulala and as well as the Galio. Just don't want to give it over to anybody really sometimes. It can be very annoying to play against. It's actually going to be the Kalista. That looks like it will be locked in here for the Spiders, so they're going to actually pick that one up for themselves. The Elise is going to stay on the side of the Spiders in Game 2 here. You know, they have to keep Elise. It's part of the synergy. It just adds a buff to their team whenever they have a Spider on the Spiders. That is going to be the first two picks. Already you see a lot of pick potential coming out of that side. We'll see what Fireball decide to respond with here. Will it just be the bottom lane and jungler pick? Looks like it will be the Jhin, and the Thresh Jhin lane is very scary. Jhin actually not a bad matchup with the Kalista because you can just trade very quickly and then back off. You don't have to stay for the extended trades and get those Ren stacks popped up. So Fireball looking to pick that bottom winning lane for themselves. They don't want what happened last time to happen again. And it's going to be the Lee Sin as well, locked in as you might assume. So he's going to go for early game jungler versus early game jungler, looking to take it to Epic in the jungle and take control of it for himself this game. Had a pretty good start actually last game. He set Epic back a little bit, but he was able to recover quite nicely and play around his team. So they're looking to properly snowball any early game advantages that they get this time around. We'll see what the last pick of the first phase is for the Spiders. Looks like they're going to grab some engage in the top lane, taking that Jarvan. They want to take this game into their own hands once again. Maybe even going for a little bit easier of a team comp to pull off as we head into phase 2 of the bans. See what these teams decide to take away. Tops and mid all not taken yet, so I have a feeling they're going to be banned quite heavily. Ninuo has been performing quite well for the side of Fireball, so I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 top lane bans actually thrown his way. Renekton's going to be first off the table, and it will be the Rakan taken away from the side of Fireball, so looking to deny that Kalista-Rakan combo. Does that have a name yet? Kalakan? Relista? Relista. We'll go with Relista. Ruckalista. No, that sounds kind of weird. We'll just stick with Kalista Rakan. It's going to be the Rumble band coming out on the side of the Spiders next up, so they are continuing to target the top lane champion pool of Ninuo. Still got Gnar is on the table, of course. Champions like that who can still do a decent carry performance if they want to. They do already have quite a squishy lineup. When you take a squishy jungler, especially when there's something like Galio banned, you tend to want to take a somewhat tanky engage top laner if you have the squishy jungler like I mentioned. Sometimes, though, teams do like to go all squishy and just try to play a bit more carefully without a front line. You do have to snowball that team comp a little bit more. So it is going to be the Alistar lock-in here. So Rakan and Braum band away. They're going to have to go a little bit further back in the champion pool. Still a decent combo with the Kalista Alistar, but the laning phase is going to suffer quite a bit. That Alistar is going to get punished very hard by the Jhin and Thresh. I can assure you that. Gragas being considered here. Maybe a top lane Gragas, actually. They're going to think better of it, though, and lock in the Poppy. So maybe even preempting the Camille pick if they want to stop that one. Actually, it's a Jarvan top. What am I talking about? I suppose Poppy works pretty well in the Jarvan as well. You can cancel the EQ combination as well, so some pretty good synergy there. Looks like Fireball want to round out their comp with a nice control mage in the mid lane. They go for the Orianna or the Victor. It is indeed going to be the Victor. I would actually like to almost see the Spiders pick up the Orianna. I think that would round out their comp really well. They have really good ball delivery system. They liked what the Corki brought last game though, and they might just stick with it. We'll see if they decide to lock that one in. Syndra also available, very good lane bully. Running down the clock here. Wako, what will it be? It will indeed be the Syndra, so she's going to be looking to take over that lane pretty heavily. Look for Elise to probably visit that lane quite frequently. As you see, Cuckoo instantly switches to the cleanse. He knows he might be in a bit of trouble. So the Spiders team comp, all about those all-ins and team fighting. They really want to get these lanes going early, be able to group up and start to take these objectives. Especially with a Callista, you're going to have even better objective control. On the side of Fireblood, they are also interested in winning, especially that bottom side of the map. They may look to play around that one, actually. Look to get the lead through the bottom half of the map. Cuckoo on that Victor, going to be trying to survive the laning phase against the Syndra. He can do pretty well once he gets a few points into that E. He can start just kind of trying to null the lane and just make it a farm off. See how much pressure Epic decides to put down there in that mid lane. So team compositions are locked in. You can see the two coaches about to arrive on your screen. Shake hands and a little bit of a bow. Show some respect. We will be heading on into game number 2 here. Fireball going up against YE Spider. YE Spider looking to close out the series with a clean 2-0. Fireball hoping and praying for their first match victory, series victory, I should say. They're going to need to win a match, though, to try to make that happen. As we take a look at the jungle positioning so far, it's actually an interesting start coming out of the side of the Spiders. We have Epic and Nexus on that top side, maybe even looking for an early blue invade. Maybe going to try to steal that one up, catch Ulala off guard. Of course, it's Elise Sin, so you'd assume he's going to start red buff. They are indeed. This is the quote-unquote solo queue start. Ninuo is going to spot this one out, actually. I don't think he can do anything to stop it. He's going to try his best to be as annoying as possible. And they're going to be no chance they're going to actually take this one away from Epic. He's going to take quite a healthy amount of damage. He almost actually ends up giving a chance to give that one away. Now Ninuo in a bit of trouble, though. He drops it very low. So he's going to be at a bit of disadvantage in the lane, but that did do a good job slowing down Epic, and it's going to crucially give the information over as well. So Wulala will know his blue's taken, so he can safely go on over and just trade the objectives. So when all's said and done, I want to say it's actually an advantage to Fireball there. Lee Sin was able to get the jump as well because he got a better leash, and Nino isn't really suffering too much in this top lane, especially when you're going up against a Jarvan. He won't really be able to punish you too much. Possible that Epic will swing back up here for a little bit of early pressure onto this top side, but after just grabbing the blue buff, it's going to be a bit harder to pull off the gank. Cuckoo in this mid lane, like we said, might be under a lot of pressure early. Stun lands from Syndra. Ooh, the Cocoon is actually thrown a bit wide there, and Cuckoo is able to just walk right out. Cocoon and Cuckoo. Try saying that 10 times fast. Meanwhile, Wulala has double buffs. He's looking to relieve some of this pressure. He understands how important it is to get the Syndra going for the side of the Spiders. It's even an early roam up to the mid lane from K, making sure everything is okay. As Ninuo, it's a bit of an early recall off. Just going to get by that pink ward. He doesn't feel too safe up in the top lane right now. Actually going to be down a decent amount of CS. So a little bit of a punish onto this Poppy for trying to help her jungler out so much. It's going to be a very late red take actually here for Epic, so keep that in mind. He may look to invade the second red of Wulala, because he doesn't have to be there when his is up. Meanwhile, we got a bit of a trade in the bot lane. Decent amount of Ren stacks, and he's trying to get that reset off. He does get a bit of damage. Hook, not going to land. Nice trade from the Spiders. As you can see, though, Jhin does pretty easily trade with Callista. He can just either pop auto and then Q, or any formation of the combo. If he has his fourth shot up, even better. And then he can just back out. Meanwhile, Epic here, getting collapsed upon a little bit. Q is not going to land. Nice juke. Cocoon as well. He seems putting on a bit of a skill shot dodging clinic. Nothing going to come of that one. He's just looking for some information on the jungle, possibly a little bit of countering. They do spot each other out on the bottom side, which means Nexus is free to push this lane in. He will have the push advantage for quite a long time, actually. And here comes even more pressure on. Stun lands onto Cuckoo. He has to burn the cleanse already. Is he going to get hit by the cocoon? No, it is flashed away from. Good job by him. He has to burn both summoners. And as I mentioned in Champion Select, Spider's putting so much pressure on this mid lane. They know how important it is to get this Syndra going. So if you can keep Cuckoo pushed in there, you can get lane priority and you can start roaming with the Syndra to make even more plays. Ulala has been showing up a little bit late to the party here. He's there just in case the return gank happens right away, but actually usually what we see from a lot of these junglers, I've noticed, especially in competitive play, is what they like to do is they like to burn the flash from whatever lane it may be, and then they won't return for a while actually, and they'll almost actually wait until the flash is back up. Hold that thought though. Cuckoo getting caught out a bit here. I think he's going to go down for this one. He has no summoners. Flash forward, going to land the cocoon. The gravity field is going to do a bit of time to slow them down, but they want to give the kill over to Wacko. He's going to dodge out, and at least he's going to have to pick up that one. But it will be a kill, nonetheless, going to the side of the Spiders. First blood. Constant pressure on the mid lane, even having the Alistar roam up. And that's kind of what you want to do if you're Alistar. You don't want to actually lane that much. You want to get up and start roaming. Fireball gave them the opportunity to do so, and he took advantage of it quite nicely. Fireball struggling a bit here to recognize what they're going to be needing to do in the early game. Nexus, meanwhile, on this top side, pulling out to a healthy CS lead. Poppy going to take a little bit of time to scale up and become tanky enough to just sit in lane and farm. Is a bit of attention here, though, from the Lee Sin. I believe he was spotted out on a ward, though. I think ward is going to be thrown down a little bit late, but they do clear it out eventually. But yes, as I was saying before, the relentless gank came through from the holy cow in the bot lane. What I've seen a lot of junglers doing, and what you might end up seeing as well, is they will actually burn the flash. They'll go for the gank, they'll burn the flash, and then they'll actually, you can instantly see the change in playstyle when a good player burns his flash. He starts to play a lot more passive, worried, but after a while, they'll almost wait until the flash is up again already, and then they'll go right before it's up, because that's when the false sense of security is going to come back to the player who has lost flash, because he thinks, okay, it's almost up, I can start playing a little more aggressive. Especially in competitive play, you can really coordinate this. Fireball did have the information on this. They might look to collapse. Spiders think they have him caught off guard a little bit here. Woolala going to easily be able to get over the wall. It's just going to be a few Raptors heading over. But like I said, because of the late red buff take from Epic, he's actually able to invade here pretty easily, especially since his bot lane has been able to join him and get bot lane priority. So nice little pathing advantage there, going to turn out in the advantage of the Spiders, unless they get caught out here. Speaking of caught out, it's actually Woolala who gets absolutely stunned up and popped. K gets that kill over. Curtain Call opens up, trying to find a kill onto the Spider. Epic with the epic juke there, dodging out the deadly flourish. This looks like it's just going to be a 1-for-0. They will have to give up on the red buff for now. They're not going to try to overstay their welcome as Epic dropped to a dangerously low HP. That is still an advantage for the side of the Spiders. They are now up almost over 10 or 1k gold. 10k. They're up almost just over 1k gold now. So good job by them. 7.5 minutes into this one, really playing to their win conditions very nicely. Like to see Fireball play a bit more around this bottom lane, actually. Seems like they're responding to the pressure mid lane from Spiders, but that's all they're doing. They're just responding to it and trying to, seems like, just thwart it. They're just playing very reactively right now, where I would like to see them play a bit more aggressively and make plays. Proactive play is what you want to see. Especially when you're up against a team comp like the Spiders, who are going to have a devastating mid-game. And if you give them mid-game for free without trying to punish them at all, I feel like they're just going to group up, and there's not much Fireball will be able to do. We'll see how it works out, though. Of course, Fireball have a pretty decent team comp themselves as far as team fighting goes. It's not the worst in the world. Also getting picks. There's the ult going down on a Cuckoo. He drops dangerously low there. Calculated, though. He's fine. He just wanted a few more CS. He is going to be forced to recall, though. And that means Spiders are going to get even more lane priority here. The bottom lane is actually forced to roam up to the mid lane to try to cover this tower. And as you can see, Epic, with so much pressure in the mid lane, he's just able to walk straight into this jungle and take pretty much as he wants. A little bit of an unfortunate start here. Syndra pick definitely paying off so far. Victor, more of a kind of passive farmer who wants to scale up for these team fights. Not given the chance right now. He's down about 20 CS and 2 assists to the side of Wako. Epic pink warding this one. He's going to have the vision. He already stole away the buff, and Wulala is going to unfortunately find that one out. Be a bit sad. He will be spotted out again on that ward. Now, all of a sudden, that early weak laning phase we were talking about for the Spiders has been surpassed thanks to all the pressure they had on the other side of the map. This Kalista and Alistar combo able to get away with murder here in the bot lane. Ninuo trying to find something on these top laners. Actually gets a nice two-man knock-up here. Will Lee Sin be able to manage to land the Q? Not quite. Might try to still close the distance. Flash forward there. They will get the kill on Epic, but it's a trade kill over. Here comes Cuckoo, though, on the roam. That is a flash out from Nexus, and it's just a 1-for-1 right now. Speaking of roams, though, Wako trying to help out his top laner. Victor already dropped the ult. He doesn't have much to trade back with. Q does land, though, onto the Syndra, so he's a bit scared to go back in. It times out, though, and now they have the chase advantage. Will the knock-up land? Flash, it still goes off, though, and Cuckoo should go down here. The shield comes through at the last second. They don't quite have the distance. Nice juke onto the QE combo. Absolutely. A hectic skirmish here in the top lane is just going to result in the 1-for-1, but crucially, the Spiders are still going to have the push and the tempo advantage here. This Skull you see getting knocked up, looking for a bit of a trade. Alistar not quite 6 yet, but Breeze is, so he feels pretty safe to go in on that Alistar. There's the trade, though, coming back from Ends. Absolutely destroying Breeze. He's forced to walk all the way back. That 4-shot doing scary amounts of damage. They were able to force out 3 summoners, though, on the side of Fireball. So they used a bit too much damage there onto the Thresh. Left the Jhin untouched for a bit too long. They're hoping they could get the kill a little bit faster. Action across the board here, but just over a 2,000 gold lead for the side of the Spiders. 11 minutes into this one, 3 kills to 1. Tower First Blood still available. I almost kind of want to, it sounds a bit desperate or risky, but I don't think it is, just to roam the bot lane, Ends and Skull up to the top side. Jarvan just burned his flash, and there's actually a lot of kill potential when Jhin and Thresh actually roam up here. They got a lot of long-range engage, actually. All Poppy has to do is land an ability onto Jarvan, and the Deadly Flourish can come in. Speaking of catches, though, the cow being caught out a little bit. He has ult, though, and is forced to pop it. Might look for the re-engage. Knocks the Lee Sin back into the team. Spider trying to get the kills here. Epic's going to be forced to repel, avoid the damage from the curtain call. Flash forward from Wako. He wanted that kill on Wulala. Not quite going to land it, though. He's taking a decent amount of damage. Fate's Call. Will he be able to get a knock up here? K dropping pretty low on the Alistar. Who's going to get the first kill? It is Wako on that Syndra, picking up a kill for himself, and that's not what you want to see if you're Fireball. Meanwhile, on the top side, Nexus getting chunked out, does manage to get over that wall. The Poppy ult actually got cancelled, kind of how that QE combo works sometimes from Jarvan. You see Epic here revisiting this mid lane, looking to put me even more pressure. No summoners from pretty much anybody anymore. Flash up on both AD carries, and that's almost it. So very hectic here. They might just look for the dive. No summoners onto the Cuckoo, as we just mentioned. He's just going to get blown up under the tower. No chance of getting away from that one. Good job by Spiders recognizing they had the opportunity to go for that one. It's actually kind of a indecisive engage from the side of Fireball. You can see they're not really sure if they want to go in. Victor's getting zoned off, forced to burn Cleanse very early in that fight. And Jhin, yes, it's nice that he can open up from such a long range, but if you don't have any other follow-up damage, it's kind of hard to threaten some sort of kill. Nice Fate's Call is going to isolate the Lee Sin. They're able to pick up that kill and don't have to trade anything over as well. Mountain Drake's still available, though. That wasn't started up by the Spiders. We'll see who gets the priority on that one. Breeze showing up here, trying to take the Scuttle Crab away. And objective control becomes just that much easier for the YE Spider side, thanks to the Kalista pick, of course, and Elise Secure is very powerful as well. There's something to be said about the Lee Sin Steel, but if you have enough Ren stacks in it, you should never really have to give that one over. No matter which neutral objective you might be talking about. Epic now making a visit to the top side. No flash for Ninuo. This might be a kill. Cataclysm almost up. They might be waiting for that one. Looking to land the cocoon here. Ninuo tries to put on his fancy feet. Dodges the first one. Dodges the second one. There's still a lot of damage, though. They're not going to go and follow up with it. Nexus dropping pretty low himself. Ninuo doing a good job soaking up this pressure and keeping himself alive. And looks like Spiders will back off that top side for now. Not going to look to take the turret. They may have given up the dragon for that play, though. Fireball thinking about their options, trying to maybe even catch somebody out here. They're going to have to act fast if they want to take this dragon. It's going to be a blue buff steal onto Epic. And they're not even actually going to start up the dragon here. They're a bit afraid of the teleport, I suppose, coming down, and they didn't have vision on where Epic was. It's just going to be a blue buff steal, actually. So again, the Spiders just making all the proactive decisions in Fireball, just reactionary. They're just not seeming like they want to pull any plays off right now, and their team comp actually, in a way, rewards that. They have the Jhin and the Thresh, and they have the Lee Sin. There's a lot of pick potential here. They're just not trying to actively use it. They haven't quite seen an opportunity to yet. This mid tower is going to go down here first. That's going to be First Blood Tower solo going over to Wako. And speaking of gold going over, we might just see Poppy go down. Nice ult. It's going to be canceled out by the Cataclysm. Jarvan has to be careful he doesn't go down himself here, actually. Flashes away. Ninuo doing a good job turning this one around a little bit. I think he's just going to go down here to the Spider. He is. That's a nice kill going over. Now it's Fate's Call popped by Breeze. Looking to turn this one around a little bit. Do they like their chances here? I'm not sure I do. Woolala gets a free kill for himself. The cow having a bit of mad cow disease going in on that one. Wako, though, on the roam. This might have been what they were waiting for. A bit impatient. He's looking to land a stun. Ends does have both summoners up, trying to dodge it all. Flash forward and heal. He's going to manage to avoid it. Hook goes down onto the Syndra. Do they want to turn this one? Deadly Flourish doesn't land. Curtain Call opens up, though. They're looking to slow the damage. They don't want to get too close because that's a lot of damage still. And that knockup is going to secure that one. Woolala with his second kill of this fight. Breeze now does have Flash, and he's forced to use it. Chaos Storm going to spook him all the way back to his tier 2 tower. He's going to recall. So Fireball, unfortunately for them, not again a proactive decision, but they're still able to capitalize on the mistake coming out of the Spiders, kind of walking in one by one there. And they will be able to take up this tower as well. It's still going to be 2 towers to 1, though, for the side of the Spiders. And as much as I like the fact that the Fireball was able to turn that one around, again, it wasn't their own play that managed to pull that one off. It was, unfortunately, the Alistar going in a bit early with the Fate's Call, and then Wako roaming down and chasing a bit too aggressively after burning all those summoner spells. Here comes the TP, though. Spiders looking to turn this one around. A lot of summoners were burned in that last fight. They don't have much to work with. The counter TP is engaged. Ninuo looking to actually engage aggressively onto this one. Gets the stun. Jarvan not quite able to flag and drag away. Now he's looking for the trade kill because that's all he can try to do. Not going to get it. That's another kill going over to Cuckoo. That is actually a pretty decent score as we take a look at the replay on this top side. This was the 2v1 that almost got turned around by Ninuo. Nice cancel on the knockout, but he almost regrets canceling it here for a second. He has to force the flash away. So Ninuo on that Poppy, as you can see, scaling up a bit. And as we see on the bot side, I think they assumed Syndra, they must have assumed Syndra was closer than she was, because Kay just takes way too much damage. He's so low, I don't know why you'd go in. I understand sacrificing your life if you can get kills off of it, but as you can see, the roam is just now coming down. Bit of a peculiar box there from Skull, just trying to slow the chase. Nice jukes by Ends. And as you can see, when they burn all the summoners, you would think they might want to try to back off. The Curtain Call opens up to get the slows down. And they play this very well, actually, to get the kill onto Wako. And Breeze forced to flash away after that one. So it's 4-6 now kills, still in favor of the Spiders. Of course, they're still up a healthy amount of gold. They have more of the objectives, the farm, and the kills. And the biggest part of kind of the failure I've seen from Fireball so far this game is that bot lane that actually ended up falling behind when they should be winning that lane. There wasn't even any jungle pressure coming down, at least not any significant amount. Just a really good job by Kay, especially on that early roam, was able to kind of end the laning phase, and they were just able to work together with their pressuring Syndra. Turn this one around. That is a ult gonna miss from Ninuo. He's in a hell of a lot of trouble. Does not have flash. Does not have a hope. He is gonna go down. They will grab up the Rift Herald for it though, so they are able to spot out 3 men on the bot side, making a play for the trade. So it's a kill for Rift Herald, but now there's gonna be a tower going over again to the Spiders. Always able to get these advantages in these rotational plays, especially. It's Fireball looking to trade back here. They do have the Rift Herald, so they might just look to pop it in the top lane to secure this tower. They do have 4 men strong, though. Actually, to make that 3. They are just going to reuse the Rift Herald. So it's just going to be a tower trade. But they're losing tempo on the bot side. So you can see the 2 members from Spiders hammering away on that turret already. Fireball just slow on these decisions. It seems like they're just focusing on what's happening right now and deciding on what's happening right now when they need to be looking into the future. What's going to happen if we don't respond to that bot push? What's going to happen if we just let them get vision in this area and move in on us? They are having troubles placing their resources at the moment. When you're up against the Spiders team comp with so much engage and pressure, you can't really afford to make these passive plays. We're going to try to regain some vision here at the bottom side. Baron is spawning in 30 seconds. Spiders do have a very good Baron take. That Blade of the Rune King, Callista, and the Elise as well. So Fireball have to be a bit careful they don't give up vision of that area for too long. This is definitely where Spiders are going to be looking up to set up Cant next. Look for them to look to set up vision around this Baron area, especially, of course, moving in deeper into the blue buff of Fireball. And they are going to do what this composition does best, try to get picks. If they can set up the proper vision, and they can force Fireball into bad face check situations and just get picks, they can eventually even just turn on the Baron. They probably want a few kills at least first to make sure it's secured. Blue buff going to be handed over to Cuckoo. He's going to be doing his best to keep these lanes pushed out as far as possible, and that Victor does have decent wave clear on that champion. Look for the Spiders to push in these lanes, walk in as a unit, grab up these wards, and just slowly choke Fireball out of this game. They have enough of a lead now. It shouldn't really be a problem. Jarvan going to be putting some pressure on that bot side as well. Fireball just being muscled out of their own jungle right now. They may look for a desperation hook. Does land it onto the Spider of the Spiders. He gets taken pretty low. The repel comes up to buy some time. K on that front line popping the ult. He's pretty tanky. Flash away comes. They're looking for the first kill onto Woolala. They will get it. The Ignite takes that one. Fate's call to re-engage this one possibly. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, we got a bit of a fight. The TP came in. Sorry, that's just a rotation from Nino. He's going to be forced to flash away from the Cataclysm. Spiders turning it around. A little bit of a desperation play out of Fireball. You can't super blame them for trying that one, but at the same time, it's probably not going to turn out well. Spiders at this point going to try to even bait out another kill. There goes this Trinket. They will know that they're not on it. They're going to have to clear that one off, actually. I'm not sure they actually spotted it. They are going to need to clear it away if they want to try to get the pick, though. It looks like they're going to play this one nice and slow, actually. They're going to go ahead and recall. Looks like Fireball was pretty much willing to give that one up, unfortunately for the Spiders, but they're slowly moving in now. They probably think they're on it, to be honest. That's what most people would assume, but they're going to realize that they're not. So Fireball, not quite under that much pressure yet, but they will be at a moment. You see the recall comes through. They're buying all the items, spending all the gold they had, and restocking on that vision crucially, so they're able to completely choke Fireball out on the top side. Look to, again, push in these lanes, get the vision control, even look for some more picks, or just turn onto the Baron. Have a decent enough Baron take that that's not really super risky of an option, especially when they can turn and fight as well. No TP for Nexus, though, so he's going to have to be grouped up with his team for this to be a realistic threat. TP advantage for the side of Fireball. I would like to see them use that one. Unfortunately, Teleport does take a little bit of time to channel, so if you're not grouped, you're actually at the disadvantage. The Skull gets absolutely caught out, destroyed by Wako. This Jhin ult might have to be cancelled. Nice knockup goes on a Nexus, cancelling the EQ combo. He still might look for the Cataclysm, though. Flash is up on Enz, who I believe was his target. So they get the kill onto the support, and they're going to turn back and rinse and repeat here. I have a feeling they almost have a preset call just to not start up this Baron. Just looking for the picks. Fireball have no choice but to try to at least get some vision in here. Be walking in, face checking the first brush. Here comes the face check on the second brush, and I have a feeling here comes the pick. Nice knockback, landing onto Woolala. He takes a healthy amount of damage, and here comes the engage coming. K on the front line here is going to be popping his ult soon. Gets the knockup. He's just trying to slow them down so the rest of the team can catch up. Here comes Nexus on the re-engage. Flash away from Woolala, trying to prevent himself from going down. Nice Lantern's going to get onto Ends, keeping him safe. But again, blowing even more summoners, making it even harder for Fireball to contest. They might just make the call to give it away. Spiders slowly, methodically making sure they secure this one for free. No contest. Fireball, though, still interested. The Lee Sin is nowhere in sight, so there's not going to be a smite steal. They may just want to try to take the fight, though. Nexus going in. Baron is secured on that Callista. Now, Nexus dropping pretty low on that Jarvan. It looks like it's the disengage call here from the Spiders. They want to keep the Baron on as many members as possible. K might look to make the call, sacrifice his life. Meanwhile, on the bot side, a pick goes down. Epic going to trade his life for Ends. That's not bad at all. Now, Wako even looking for a little bit on the backside of this one. He's going to absolutely obliterate Woolala. Barely able to survive that one. He missed a few of his spells there. The damage is very real from this Syndra. So it is a Baron and a trade of kills for the side of Spiders. Definitely worth it. They may even be able to defend this mid lane as well. Cloud Drake is available if Fireball are feeling up to that. I have a feeling they don't even want to push their luck that far. So now it should be pretty easy for the side of the Spiders. Nexus even has his teleport up soon, so he'll be able to put pressure on that bot lane. They're just going to look to push in these lanes and slowly knock away these tier 2 towers, moving into the base. USS picked up by the Kalista, so she can be even more safe. As we take a look at this team fight, Fireball realized they're not going to get in there for the Baron steal, but they do want to try to win the fight. It's looking okay for a bit, but they're so far behind. There's just not much they can do. Ends, I'm not sure what he was thinking there. Separates himself from his team and goes down to Epic. They are able to get the trade kill, but you can see Spiders just making a very smart decision. Secure the Baron pretty easily for themselves, as they're going to look to push in these two lanes at relatively the same time. Cuckoo's going to do a decent job clearing the waves, but as soon as they group up, I have a feeling it's not going to go well. It's a bit of a desperation team flank coming in here from Ninuo, actually. Skull getting almost deleted already. Does land the hook, though, and there's the combo landing. That's Wacko down. 1 for 1 so far, but there's another kill over to the side of the Spiders. They're already turning this one around for themselves. Jungler and support for the mid laner. Mid laner was pretty fed, as you can see. K with the very impressive BM onto this Alistar, ringing the bell, the shame bell on the side of Fireball. Shame, shame. Another tower is going to be going down here for Breeze. I'd like to make a joke about it being easy breezy, but I think it just tells itself. There's the Fate's Call actually pulled in from the Kalista, looking to take down Cuckoo onto this Victor. He does not have Flash. He has Cleanse, but that's not going to help him against a Rend. K gets stunned up, actually dropping pretty low. Pops the ult for himself. Heal comes down as well from Breeze, looking to keep his support alive. That hook is going to go about a mile wide. Heal popped from Ends to also keep his support alive, so a lot of love being shown. Breeze onto this Kalista feeling so confident, bouncing around left and right. He still has the QSS up as well as Flash. Gonna look to do as much damage to this tower as possible. TP is up for Nexus, which is why you can see him just pressuring the lane here on the middle side, because middle is definitely a side. Kappa. Recalls are going to come out from Spiders. They probably have so much gold to spend. All they need to do is rinse and repeat this one. Could pick up a Cloud Drake on the way back if they want. Gonna have to be a bit more careful, though. They don't get caught out there on the flank. Wacko is a bit pushed forward. Well, his team was not quite in position to punish yet. I'm sure they've learned their lesson from that one, though. You can see the Jhin. The Dorn's Blades, Dorn's Ring start again, actually. Forgot to mention that one. Interesting. To see the adaptation coming, I do like it on the Jhin. Makes a lot of sense. Helps you tremendously in that laning phase. Unfortunately, they weren't able to put that to too much use this game, which is why they are 12,000 gold behind. Just over 27 minutes into this one. Spiders looking to close out the series 2-0, and there's not much standing in their way. Going to group up here. Do a bit of a 3-1-1. Sounds like an area code, but it is the call here from the side of the Spiders. In position to collapse. TP is up from Nexus. No TP onto Ninuo, so he's got to even spread their resources even thinner, though. Here, he's got to rotate in between the bottom lane and the mid side. The Spiders just looking to catch them out in a rotation. Look to take down these towers nice and slow. Breeze going to be soloing in the top side on that Kalista. He's feeling pretty confident. Flash is up and available for this Jarvan, so he'll be able to engage from quite a distance. Curtain Call is going to open up for some reason. That was a optimistic Curtain Call there, and they're going to lose a bit of pressure on the top side because of it. Breeze probably able to get a few autos onto that tower. He's going to back off as soon as he sees the rotation. Standard play here coming out from the Spiders. They just need to take it nice and patient, knock down these towers. The middle one almost down already. Stun lands onto Woolala. He will be okay for now. Skull fishing for a hook, does land it, but that's not the target you want. That's the engage actually coming from the Alistar. They're looking to pop this fresh right away. They do indeed. He flashes, try to go away. But it's not going to be enough distance. Nexus, meanwhile, regrouping with his team here. He's got the Cataclysm. He's got the flash. That mid tower should go down on the next wave. They may even just take top simultaneously. There's a big enough wave there for Breeze to feel confident going in. Ends on this Jhin, just really can't do anything at this point. He can't get into these fights. As you can see, the Curtain Call not doing that much damage either. Ninuo going to get isolated a bit here. Nice cancel on the headbutt. Going to keep himself in decent position. Breeze stepping so far forward onto this Kalista. He isn't scared of anything at this point. That's going to be double inhibitors going down at the same time. Baron spawning at about a minute 30. I'm curious to see if they actually recall and just wait for that Baron, or if they go straight down to the bot line. I would actually like to see them go for the bot tower, even though, yes, the Baron play would be a lot more safe. I don't think they need to actually worry about that. But you do like to see these teams practicing, the coaches for sure like to see them practicing the safe method, you know, the secured 100% win rate. They may actually look for a bit of a pick when somebody tries to grab this red buff. They see Nuno. That is not the one they were looking for, as you can see. They say, he's a bit too tanky for our liking. We were hoping for a Victor or a Jhin, or possibly even a Lee Sin. It's going to be the recalls coming out from the bottom lane. We'll see what Kalista has here. I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up just a whole nother item. Here's to see what he goes for. It's just going to be the BF sword for now. Looks like he's going for a Bloodthirster, actually. 4th item, so he's going a lot of damage and a lot of survivability. The name of the game for this Kalista. GA would have been a okay choice, but he's got the QSS and all its summoners up, so he's not really feeling afraid of getting locked down. So I like the BT call. There is a tank on the side of Fireball, but it's the Poppy, and she only has one major armor item, and she's so far behind that Breeze can pretty much just ignore her, especially when you have Wako and Epic doing so much magic damage as well. You can kind of just say, okay, I'll let you deal with him. I'm going to kill everybody else. See a 15,000 gold lead on the side of Spiders. This is a dire situation for the side of Fireball. They really have no way back into this one, barring a botched dive or perhaps getting a miracle pick. As you can see, Nexus with the first person cam looking a bit like Smite there in the bot lane. Going to be whacking away at those minions. You can really see how intimidating it is for a Jarvan just to be walking at you. He's pretty tall, pretty menacing. As the Baron will be spawning, they do make the call just to wait it out. Grab vision control of the area, turn back onto it. They're just going to start it up. They know there's not likely going to be a contest, and if Fireball do contest it, they are going to die a horrible death. Go ahead and pick this one up for themselves. There's the blue trinket just to say, yep, they are taking the Baron, guys. I can confirm. So that is a second Baron buff over to the Spiders. This one should be the last. They're looking to close out the game, looking to pull their last recalls off. It should be the end. 2-level advantage, as you can see on the top lane there. Nexus just making sure he doesn't get caught out. Going to wait for his team to regroup. They may even pick up a Cloud Drake on their way just for fun. Pad the stats. 8 towers to 2 here. This is kind of the definition of a stomp. They're able to make the aggressive plays in the early game, and Fireball just had no response. They're able to group up with their superior teamfighting composition and force Wulala and friends off these objectives and just take them down one by one, even winning a few fights along the way. As Skull might find himself caught out, he does not have flash up, so he's most likely going to go down here. Cocoon Lance, as well as every other CC ability in the world. Wako's going to pick up that kill. That is only going to speeden up this process. It's 5v4, man advantage to the side of the Spiders. Not that they needed it. They're going to work to knock down this last inhibitor of the game. Nexus trying to zone them off here on the top side. If anybody steps too close, it will be the engage. Wulala looking pretty juicy on that Lee Sin. And they will be able to take up this tower. They're just going to ignore it, actually. They're going straight in onto Wulala. Nice knock-up lands. Will the Cataclysm throw him through? It does. He jumps away onto his teammate, buying himself some time. Nexus doing that front line very nicely. I'm not sure that flash was even necessary. He's not dropping low at all. Flash forward from Wako, looking to get the assassination. The Nexus tower healing was enough to keep him alive. Breeze, though, going to grab that kill finally for the side of the Spiders. Flashes away. They're just looking for KDA now, but they get the Nexus and game 2. 2-0 for the Spiders. Really taking control and showing that they are the more dominant team. That is what you want to see if you're a Spider fan. Unfortunately for the Fireballs, just indecisive, passive play coming when they really can't afford to with that time to team comp. They didn't have the late game. So trying to play a somewhat pick mid-game comp into another one and just playing passively, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're just going to end up getting grouped up on, and they're going to end up losing that series. Unfortunately for Fireball, yet to find their first victory. They're going to hope to find it soon, but for the side of the Spiders, things are looking up. Way up, you might say. Good game well played to them. I apologize for that joke, and we will see you in the next series.